Now, as Women's History Month winds to a close, I like to spend a few moments illustrating how systems within our society, supposedly there to protect, will sometimes fail women in the worst of ways. Failure is exemplified in the case of Sylvia Matthews. D.C. native Sylvia Diane Matthews, due to her family, was, by all accounts, a fantastic person, a gem, a joyful friend with an infectious laugh, a loving aunt, cousin, and second mother to her niece Sheila. Sadly, Sylvia was found dead in her home last December, the victim of an apparent homicide. Michael Tyrone Garrett, the same man who spent 24 years in prison for beating and robbing her in 1999, is charged with her murder 24 years later. Sylvia met Garrett in 1996 when she was a drug abuse counselor at the old D.C. jail in Lorton. Court records indicate they started a relationship after he was released in 1998. When the abuse began isn't specific, but court records detail him assaulting her with a hammer while sitting in a car that same year. The assault left her with facial injuries. More court documents show he broke into the home she shared with her mother one January night in 1999. Sylvia ran to a neighbor and called police, who found Garrett in the basement with a crack pipe. He was arrested, convicted on multiple burglary and assault charges, and put away for the aforementioned 24 years. Now, this should have been the end of it for Sylvia. Should have. But last March, Garrett was set free from a federal penitentiary, the recipient of a compassionate release due to his advanced age, failing eyesight, and his cellmate catching COVID, and a promise to never contact Sylvia again. Now, understand, Garrett was not a model prisoner. Far from it. More court documents show he got into fights, threatened a female guard. Prison psychologists determined, unsurprisingly, that he had temper and inner rage issues. He wasn't what one would think of as a rehabilitation success story, but still in all, he was released. And this is where those failures began. Sylvia and her family were never told that Garrett was up for release, and the judge in the case apparently didn't even take this into consideration. This seems like a question a judge might want to ask. Prosecutors from the U.S. Attorney's Office claim they were unable to notify them, quote, due to the age of the case and the closure of the Federal Records Center. But the Federal Records Center told WSA 9 it has no record of an information request on the Garrett case from the U.S. Attorney's Office. In hindsight, this must seem like a bit of a misstep, a giant one. A lingering fear of attack was Sylvia's constant companion, a fear confirmed on October 7th when police records show Garrett tried to force his way into her home, threatening to kill her. Remember, she had no idea he was even out. He was arrested, but for reasons unknown, the U.S. Attorney's Office declined to prosecute. The D.C. police are order-bound to try and connect domestic violence survivors with D.C. Safe, a nonprofit that helps them relocate if need be. And again, for reasons unknown, this never happened. The police spoke with Sylvia multiple times the night Garrett allegedly killed her. She called them saying he was trying to break in. They came and not finding him left. He tried again. She called again, and again he was gone when they got there. But she had him on the phone, so they told him to leave her alone. And then they left, leaving her alone. This is unacceptable, and we have to do better. Rest in peace, Sylvia Garrett.